Chopping it up with Ramel. Chopping it up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the latest edition of Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the throat. Hey, listen, I have to apologize. It's been several days. A lot of things have gone by in the world of sports, including the NBA. But I'm here today, and I'm ready to chop it up. Are you? So tune in and gather around. First of all, I hope everybody's having a great weekend. Okay, great. They say history repeats itself. Well, last night, history repeated themselves in a different form. Because what we saw last night was the latest version, the 2017 Boston Massacre. Yes, history repeats itself. The Boston Massacre has come back in 2017. I am not, and I repeat, I am not a LeBron James fan. I am not a Cleveland fan. I am not a Boston Celtics fan. I am an NBA fan. And had I had paid tickets to see that game last night, I would have been demanding a refund. Because there's no way a game should be played in the Eastern Conference Finals and a team gets blown out by 44 points. Cleveland was up by 41, an NBA record at halftime. What a joke, and how ridiculous that was. Yes, history repeated itself last night. 2017 Boston Massacre. Sitting at courtside was Robert Kraft, Jankowski, members of the New England Patriots. You should have suited them up. Here's the thing. I don't think there's anybody out there other than Boston fans that thought that Boston could beat Cleveland in this series. I was hoping they would. Because I don't like Cleveland. And if I had to choose, I'd go with the lesser of two evils. But no one expected two blowouts on their home court like this. This is embarrassing. Downright embarrassing. And now you got Isaiah limping around. He's hurt. He's probably doubtful for game 3. But this is embarrassing. And whether it's because Cleveland is rested, Cleveland is just a better team. For whatever reason, they faltered down the stretch in the regular season that allowed Boston to get the number 1 seed. But this here is pretty darn embarrassing. As a Celtic fan or a Celtic player or member of their organization should be embarrassed. You know, as a manager on my job, I send people home if they're not willing to work or productive. Hey, you know what? You don't have it today. Go home, get some rest, come back tomorrow. And then it's not a disciplinary action. Hey, you know what? You don't have it today. Let them leave a little bit early. Let them regroup. Hey, it's tough. I understand that. I would have sat that starting 5 down so quick yesterday and put on the 12th, 11th, 10th, 9th, and 8th man out there. Because obviously, they didn't want to play. There's one thing to lose, but it's another to look timid, afraid, and scared. Because that's what the Boston Celtics look like. And again, I blame this on Danny Ainge. Because if the draft was yesterday and they drafted Fultz or Ball, they still can't get past them. So why are you holding on to that draft pick as if it's the last thing in this world? When that pick could have been used, or even maybe not even that pick. Amir Johnson is nothing. Jaylen Brown, he carrying the ball. But let's face it, if you're looking to fill that 3 spot, he's not part of your plans next year? Why not bring in somebody at the deadline to give Isaiah Thomas some help? I like your chances if you have Paul George there playing along with Isaiah Thomas. I like your chances if you had Jimmy Butler playing along with Isaiah Thomas in this series. What we were watching yesterday is just boys, men against boys. Guys, I don't want to hear that they're tired or whatever the case is. The guys are front iron. They're nervous, throwing the ball and players is not even there. Not even there. And this is not the Rondo-less Chicago Bulls team. It's not like you're going to go to Cleveland and win 2 games. If so, I'll be the first one to come out here and offer an apology. But that's not going to happen. LeBron James and company is going to close this out in record fashion. There's not going to be a game closer than under 15 points. Perhaps under 20. This is horrible. As a Celtic fan, I would be disgusted. And yeah, you won the lottery. You got the number 1 pick. Can't help you this year. And if you come back with the same team next year, plus the lottery pick, and Cleveland comes back with the same team next year, that lottery pick is not going to do anything for you. You're going to have to sit back and wait till LeBron retires. Whatever that is. Because right now, LeBron is about padding stats. He's going to stand there until he has all the numbers to be the top player ever. And why I say he padding stats? He just became the second player to have 30 straight points in 9 playoff games. To tie or be behind Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Why I say he passed stats? You guys are up 40 at the break. He's the first one to complain about he needs rest. And yet he comes back out and play for the second half. And play all the way through the third quarter. Why? To pad his stats. To pad his stats. Risking injury to pad his stats. There was no need for him to be out there on a 40-point lead going into the third quarter. And Isaiah Thomas is not on the floor. Like they were going to be outscored by 40 points in the second half. Go figure. Go figure. So yesterday they announced the NBA finalists awards finalists, MVP, sixth man, rookie of the year, coach of the year, most improved player, defensive player. And LeBron James' name is nowhere to be found. Let me tell you something. LeBron is the best player in the game. I understand that and I get that. No knock there. You won't get a disagreement from me. But did he play like one of the best players this season? I don't think so. And the fact that he's not listed in the top 3, I think they got it right. The only thing is, I wouldn't have had Kawhi Leonard there. Believe it or not, I would have had Isaiah Thomas there. I think Isaiah Thomas should have been mentioned as a top 3 finalist for MVP throughout the playoffs. This guy was a one-man show in Boston this season. He should have been a top 3 final MVP. He led the league in scoring in the fourth quarter, which means he was the game's best closer. If you take Isaiah Thomas off of Boston, they wouldn't need the Brooklyn pick to be in the lottery. They would be in the lottery. He should have been in the top 3. It should have been Westbrook, Harden, and Isaiah Thomas. And Westbrook should win the award. Again, LeBron, best player in the game. I don't disagree. but he wasn't the best player this season. The best 3 players in this season belong to Westbrook, Harden, and Isaiah Thomas. What Isaiah Thomas did this year for Boston was special. Unfortunately, they're overmatched as we speak right now. And again, I blame Danny Ainge for not making a trade at the deadline to bring in possibly a Paul George or a Jimmy Butler. You cannot play a season to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Your goal shouldn't be to get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Your goal should be to win it all. And if you have the mindset of thinking, we're going to just build our team until LeBron retires, no. You don't think like that. So again, I thought that Kawhi Leonard, respect him to death. I didn't realize how great he was. But Isaiah Thomas should have been in the top 3 of the NBA Finals. As far as Rookie of the Year, they got Malcolm Brogdon, Joel Embiid, and his teammate Dario Saric. Listen, for me, this is easy. I can't give it to Embiid. He didn't play enough. Saric, he's going to be a star in this league. But this has got to go to Malcolm Brogdon for me. He took over point guard. He led this team to the playoff. He had crucial moments. He had great game. This guy's going to be a player in the league. And what I like for you youngsters coming up, he's a 5-year college player at the University of Virginia. You got to respect that. He took his time coming out, making sure his game is there, his mental is there, his maturity is there, and he's in a situation where he's only going to get better. And if Jason Kidd is anything of a good coach, who better for this young point guard to learn from than one of the greatest point guards that ever played the game? So that's easy for me. As far as defensive player of the year, it gets a little tricky here. You know, I mean, you got some quality players there between Kawhi, Draymond, and Gobert. Kawhi Leonard is just the claw. He does it all. He's a shutdown defender. Draymond Green guards from 3 through 5. Gobert, he just takes it away. He really does. He takes it away. I'm going to go with Gobert. I'm going to go with the big man there. I think that he's deserving of it. I'm going with Gobert. It looks like Eddie Ness. Come on, he agrees with me. I'm going with Gobert for the Defensive Player of the Year. Okay? But you got some stiff competition there. Now, here's the stiffest of them all. 6-man. You got Eric Gordon, Lou Williams, and Iguodala. Lou Williams was leading the league in scoring off the bench. He was on a team that had the best scoring bench with the Lakers. But the Lakers had a bad year. Then he gets traded to Houston, and he teams up with someone who he was competing for with 6-man a year, and he continued that. For some reason, he disappeared in the playoffs in the second round. But for me, I'm going with Lou Williams. I think he was made for the 6-man. To me, he's this current generation of Vinnie Johnson, the microwave. So we can't call him the microwave, but we can call him Instagram. Because when he comes on, it's instant. It's instant. So I see my man Eddie Ness. He's got Gordon, but I think this goes down to Lou Williams. I'm giving it to Lou Williams. As far as most improved player, you got the kid out of Denver, Jokic, had a sensational year. Don't get me wrong, a sensational year. All right, you got Gobert, very improved, and then you got Giannis Antetokounmpo out of Milwaukee. I gotta go with Giannis. He's gonna be the best player in the game in 2-3 years. I mean, this guy here Take notice of him. We seen him in the All-Star game among the starters. He started the starters. Take notice of him. Okay? Coach of the year. I would love to give it to Spoelstra, but he didn't make it to the playoffs. I don't know if Pop is really quite deserving of it, because if you put Pop in the top three, you might as well put LeBron in the top three for MVP. I mean, it's very similar. Who's a better coach than Pop? Who's a better player than LeBron? They're both always going to be a difference maker. And then you got D'Antoni, who I just, it will pain me to vote for him. Because I don't think he coaches on both sides of the ball. I think all he does is coach offense. And to be a good coach, you need to coach the defense as well. I really do. You can't deny what Houston did. But I can't vote for neither one of these guys. I really can't. And if Spoelstra had snuck into the 8th spot, I would have voted for him. But my vote is a toss-up. And it's going to be between Quinn Snyder for Utah. What he did with Utah, this team had their starting five together for about 7 games only. He had injuries throughout the year. And what he did to secure a 4th seed, to secure a 5th seed, it was phenomenal. He has one major star. He has a couple of role players, some veterans on that team, but he had injuries in and out of the lineup. I think Quinn Snyder did a fantastic job. So I would go with Quinn Snyder for my Coach of the Year. Now, I'll be remiss if I didn't touch on the NBA lottery. For my New York Knicks, they can't even tank right. In the last 9 games, they win 4 meaningless games. They put themselves in a position to be number 7. The ping pong balls is not good to them. They go back 1. They can't get it right for nothing. They got Walt Frazier there, Mr. Nick. He's got his lucky purple jacket on. That doesn't help. In New York, don't rig the lottery no more? They're not spending money? What, we won and done with the Patrick Ewing number 1 lottery? How can we be at the top of the lottery? 2 years ago, we fall to 4. When we had the 2nd worst record. New York can't even tank right. They can't get a break. But anyway, so you got Boston, Lakers, Philly, Phoenix, Sacramento, Orlando, Minnesota, New York. Is a draft full of point guards. The Knicks need to grab one. I wish they would have in a position to grab Fox. I don't see Fox getting past Philly, nor does he get past Sacramento. If he gets past Sacramento, we have a chance. But I don't think he gets past Sacramento. They need just about everything as well as the Knicks. And Sacramento has the 5th and the 10th pick. So they're in good shape. If they draft right, they're in good shape. Boston, for whatever reason, they're going to pick a point guard. If I'm Boston, I don't pick a point guard. I go after Josh Jackson. The Lakers need everything. They'll probably make a trade offer for Paul George. But look for the Lakers to pick a point guard. The leftover between Fultz and Ball. If LeVar Ball had his way, his son would be a Laker. Do the Lakers want to take a chance and have LeVar Ball at every game? That's the question for the Laker organization. I'm not going to knock the behavior, comments, or attitude of LeVar Ball, because I've never been in that position where I have a trio of sons that can change the landscape of NBA. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is to feel or what that is to dream of. So I'm not going to knock his behavior. But I will say this. Just tone it down a little bit. That's all I ask. Just tone it down. It's not what you do, it's how you do it. It's not where you're going, it's how you get there. Just tone it down a little bit. Everybody recognizes and everybody knows. You don't want to be a turnoff or a distraction for your son. And your son is going to be able to ball wherever he goes. Just tone it down a little bit. Make your money, I agree. Lessen the price is a little bit on the sneakers, though. But just tone it down just a little bit. You in the hot seat and you driving it. You're in the driver's seat and you're driving. Like I said, I don't know what it is to have a trio of sons that can possibly change the landscape of the NBA. That's got to be an athletic father's dream. So kudos to him for putting his sons in that position. So I believe the Lakers is going to take Ball. I believe Celtics is going to take Fultz. If I'm Philly, looks like they're going to take Fox. Unless they think they can sign Kyle Lowry. Then maybe they don't think they need Fox and they go for somebody else. Maybe they go for Monk. All right? But I see them taking Fox. From Phoenix, you have a glut of point guards already. So you don't need a point guard, but you need a 3. Josh Jackson is the perfect fit for you at 4. At 5, this is where it gets a little dicey because Sacramento needs a point guard as well. But they could use a 3 with the guy who got hurt from the Achilles. He won't be there. Out of UConn, Rudy Gay, he won't be there. So if I'm there, I'm looking at Jason Tatum. Okay, Orlando, they come in at 6. I'm not sure what they do. Do they go for a Jonathan Isaac? I'm not sure what they do. Number 7, Minnesota. If I'm them, I trade the pick. I would trade the pick if I'm Minnesota and look for some veteran help. But I do like TJ Leaf. I think he would be nice right between Karl Anthony Towns and Andrew Wiggins. And then there's the Knicks that need anything and everything. There's Dennis Smith out of North Carolina State. He would be a good fit there. If Jason Tatum was a slide or Josh was a slide, that'd be a good fit. I'm hearing about the young French kid. I can't pronounce his name. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But I don't like the position that the Knicks is in. And for you boxing fans, got a good fight on tonight. Terrence Crawford against Felix Diaz. Should be a good fight. I think Terrence Crawford wins, but Felix Diaz is a good boxer. Should be a good fight. Next week is the big fight. Errol Spence and Kelly Brock. That's the one to tune into. Hey, y'all have a good Saturday. Perhaps maybe we chop it up tomorrow. Good game on tonight. Game 3, Golden State, San Antonio. This is for all the marbles right here. San Antonio lose this one, it's a wrap. It's bad enough it's hard to beat Golden State 4 games in 7 games. Now you're asking to do it 4 games in 5 games. It's a wrap. Y'all be good. See y'all soon. This is Ramel for Chopping It Up with Ramel. No notes, straight from the dope. Peace and blessings. We do this again.